How old were you the first time you remember being asked an adoption-related question that you were probably too young to have an answer to?
Probably 6.
Probably 6? Do you remember what it was?
You know, why do you look different? Was literally it.
Yeah. First grade, somewhere in that range, and something about like why. I think it was something about why did you leave Korea? Because I'm being asked this by a first grader, right? So like,
That's awesome.
why did you leave Korea? But I mean, we've tried to be funny about some of these questions, but really when it comes down to it is that when we're kids, we don't have anywhere near the resources or the mental capacity to answer those questions, much less to process them.
Mm-hmm.
I know what would have been helpful to me as a kid might have been to have an adult that I knew had been through this same situation or been through these same things, and I'm sure that they were available, or maybe they weren't, I don't know, but I didn't ever know that you were still adopted when you were an adult because it never came up past the age of 18.
Right?
You know?
Yup. And how that plays into how you are now and the way that you view the world and how you even interact with strangers.
Right? And to this day, I mean, now we just get different questions, right? Like, oh, your kids are so cute, which basically just translates to like, oh, they're different looking than other people's kids. I'm not getting into all that right now. It would have been nice to know that as excellent as my parents were, there's an inherent understanding with the international adoptions that there are things my parents did not go through and couldn't possibly understand from a firsthand experience. Which isn't to say that they're inadequate parents or any of that. I mean, it's pretty simple for us as in our situation to look at our upbringing and in that moment have said, okay, my parents have no understanding of what it means to be raised Asian by white people,
right?
In a school environment especially in which kids are not taught what's an appropriate question by any means, right? And so a kid will just say what they're going to say anyway, but as a child, it's really, I mean, it raises some interesting points that for me came to a head in about 6th and 7th grade that I was not prepared to answer. And probably wasn't prepared to answer until I was in my late 20s, early 30s, because I finally found out that some of the stuff that I felt or went through or my emotional states came from the very fact that I was adopted, and that changed my perspective. And apparently those things are very similar for a lot of us. And there I was thinking I was the weirdo, which is still true.
You are.
But
That's true.
There's other weirdos that are just like me.
I have a lot of tendencies, a lot of different things that I go through, and one of them, honestly, like my wife and I joke about all the time, is separation anxiety. Like, I don't like to be left alone. I'm an introvert and I like to have my time alone, but I don't like it when people leave me. I don't like it when, they go do something and I'm left alone by myself. And, a lot of that comes back, Dave and I have had conversations about this. A lot of that comes back to being adopted, as a child. Not having that motherly connection as a baby and, being kind of passed around from place to place. And so, there was a lot of abandonment issues that I've dealt with in my life. And I just thought it was just my personality, instead of just being adopted. But if you really look at it and you kind of study these things a little bit like he has, you come to find out that there are a lot of psychological things that happen when you're a baby that actually translate into when you're an adult. Nobody told me that. And so I didn't necessarily know how to process those things. I thought it was just me being weird or, needy, which I'm very needy.
That also is true.
Yeah, I'm very needy. So we are doing this amazing thing that we're both actually really excited about called the 5A Summit.
Ask an adopted adult anything. The 5A Summit.
Woo! we are doing a live YouTube event coming the end of the month. We're going to be asking questions, to each other, but more importantly, we're going to be opening up to you guys. We want to hear your questions. And so, what we're looking for right now is for you guys to actually start asking those questions. Put it in the comments below, send in a message, whatever you have to do, so we can get a little bit of head start and start thinking about some of these really hard questions. But then we're going to be opening the floor. We're going to be reading the comments live when we're doing the stream and answering any of those questions. So if you have family members, if you have friends, if you are an adopted child or you have an adopted child, tune into this. We're very excited, we're very passionate about being adopted. I love being adopted, he loves being adopted, and it hasn't been something that's really hindered our lives per se, but it has greatly affected us. And so we're going to be talking about a lot of these issues, a lot of the questions that people go through in the adoption process. And so that is going to be coming the end of the month. We're going to ask that you guys, our viewers, subscribers, people who love us, please share the video. Is that really intense?
It's pretty intense.
Good. Share the video. And we can't wait to answer your guys' questions. So, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. Again, share this video. We want to get the message out there to people. And as always, we love you.
Very hand expressive today.
Yeah. Tell the people you love them.
Love you.
Oh, that was cute.